Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers, Titan's Return, Voyager class, Autobot Sovereign, and ALPHA TRION. So, if you don't know who ALPHA TRION is, he was old Autobot sage that appeared in the original cartoon all the way back 85-ish, and then he did some stuff, he did some sagely stuff going on. Never appeared in the comics, kind of appeared sparsely throughout the series going forward, still kind of this old sage type Autobot. And then when Hasbro decided to have a finalized list of the original Transformers, the original 13, ALPHA TRION was put on that list and made the keeper of the memory of the Prime. So we are reviewing one of the original 13 in front of us today, which is very cool. Him having a lion form is a very interesting story. ALPHA TRION has never received an official toy for mass general release from Hasbro before. All of his toys have come from the Transformers Collectors Club's BotCon events, and one of them was a redeco of Vector Prime, the Cybertron Vector Prime, which you saw a review of if you've been watching my reviews, and two of them have been lions. So hey, Hasbro's like, hey, we're gonna make him a lion since that's the form he's had the most. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. It's cool. Though he also does have a third form attached to him, as the Voyagers and the Titan's Return series all are triple changes. But we'll get to that in a moment. We are going to start this review by looking at his Titan Master Potter, Autobot Sovereign, who, gotta say, is with facial features and the color layout, is a very close match to his partner Beta Max, who was a redeco of Safeguard for that BotCon toy out of Vector Prime that I mentioned before. Got a very similar face going on, very nice face-plated face. Purple chest, gray legs, and red legs, arms, and head. No paint, but like, hey, there's more colors. It's usually just two separate colors on the Titan Masters, but there's 3 different molded colors on here, which I guess is nice. And then you got ALPHA TRION's face right there, and you can see that face right there. All the silver, the red, and the purple. Silver for the eyes too, which is very interesting. Head articulation is full 360. Head is able to bob up and down, side to side a little bit. Standard Titan Master stuff. Arms are able to rotate that far. I'm pretty sure that's the furthest articulation any Titan Master has been able to obtain that I have reviewed so far. And then the arm can come off because it's on a ball joint, but the arms are actually able to spread out pretty far from the side of the body. Legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back, and knees are able to bend that far back and that far forward, and you just transform them in half. And then you got Sovereign in ALPHA TRION's head mode, and that's all there's to say about Autobot Sovereign by himself. So now let's take a closer look at ALPHA TRION in his lion form, and boy is it a boxy lion. It looks good at the front, and then you go on to the back, and holy crap, boxes. But taking a closer look at this front here, you got a very nice silver mane going on with hints of purple and red going on. You got a little bit of gray there for the lower jaw, which are actually his hands. If you didn't catch that, those are actually his hands right there for his lower jaw. Nice big red schnoz, nice purple going on around. It's got a horn. It's got a horn going on there. It's a lion horn. Then you got some red on the back here, red for the ears, and some bits of gear work going on. Then you got the legs. You got a silver Autobot silver Autobot symbol right there. Nice red legs, nice black claws. Coming to the back, you got a lot of details going on, and you got chunks, and then you got this orange translucent part, which is the Titan Master seat for ALPHA TRION. You got silver and purple and red going on there. You got these humongously bulky back legs, and then these tiny little thin lower legs with the same black painted claws as the front legs do, with the red and all of that. And you got the bulk, and then you got the tail, which is obviously one of the accessories that is his sword,
We'll get into the accessories more in a moment. But yeah, so for articulation, head can do absolutely nothing. You can't even do the jaw or any of that. The front leg is able to bend that far forward because of the mane, that far back, and there is a swivel here, so it is able to rotate a full 360 at that joint. And if you get into that angle, you can get the leg to bend up that far, rotating that back. Lower leg has a swivel at the, I mean not the lower leg, the ankle has a swivel for 360 articulation, and then the foot just pops off. I guess I've actually never had that happen to me before. I've never had that happen before. So you can't get him to rotate the leg all that far forward. I mean the foot all that far forward. You can get it that far forward and that far back. And I happened to knock the sword tail out while I was doing that bit of articulation. It just uses that tab to fit into that slot right there, and it just sits right there. Back legs, they have a ball joint right here, so they're able to go out. They're able to go all the way around if you really want them to, and if you can get it all to work properly. If the problem with him is he's got a lot of bulk to him, so it's a bit hard to get the lion mode posed. You're pretty much mainly just seeing it in this kind of a pose, so don't try it too hard, but you can probably get some stuff. I'm also not great at posing things. Legs are able to bend that far down and that far up, and then if you untab this, you can get that section to go back, but they're supposed to be tabbed in like so. And then the foot has able to go that far back and that far forward, and that is all of the articulation on ALPHA TRION. And for Time Master compatibility, I mentioned before, this section up here can open, and you get Sovereign into a seating position, and you just kind of slide him into that space right there, like so. Get him sitting back better, and boom, you got a guy riding a lion's back. A little robot guy riding a giant robot lion's back. For accessories, I already mentioned that sword. That is his tail. So, and I already showed you how that connects, so there's nothing else to do with that. And then he also comes with this triple barrel gun thing, which also is a Titan Master seat. I don't know why I took Sovereign out of his seating position. So, as I could show you that he does in fact plug in like so. Just using that tab to get into that slot right there. And then there's this post that can go into slots about such as right there. So you can just have it like hanging out the side, or you can have him have like a side mounted gun. But there's also these two tiny slots right there that fit these two tiny tabs on top of the translucent orange seat position. And you can have the cannon mounted upon the lion's back. So you can have someone sitting in the orange bit and someone sitting up here. So you got two people riding the lion at once. And then you can put other weapons in those slots right there to give them hip cannons if you really want. If you really want to weaponize this ancient Autobot lion sage. If that's things you want to do. And yeah, so now time for some size comparisons. Here they are with Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see how they scale next to each other. Sorry, Sovereign. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see how they scale next to each other. Voyager Class Megatron. You see how that scales. Megatron is pretty much as long as ALPHA TRION without the tail. And Leader Class 6-shot. And you can see that size comparison right there. So that's all there is to say on ALPHA TRION in his line mode. So let's roll right along to his spaceship mode. So what you're going to do is going to take the tail sword off, put it to the side. Next, what's going to happen is we are going to take these sections, untab the legs, and fold them back like so. And we'll strain that out. We'll take this red and silver section and flip it straight up like that. Repeat that on the other side, flip that up, tap that all in, fold it down, straighten it out, flip that, and get that lined up like so. Then we'll come here and rotate, and these two sections will tab together using those tabs and slots right in them on the purple section. Like so. All right. So next what's going to happen is we are going to take the front half, the lion head, and just completely split it in half and have it fold down like so, and just have that tab go into that slot right there to hold out all of that in place. Next what's going to happen is we are going to take this the cockpit section and fold it up on that double hinge and then move it all the way up there. And I will say very much that the horn, the special horns to buff up the head really like to pop out of ALPHA TRION, so be warned. Next, what's going to happen is all of this. Hold on, I gotta get these legs out of the way, and I forget how the legs go. I'm so sorry. I forget how the legs go. We are going to figure that out together again. But I know how this transforms. Hold on, I trust myself. Anyway, we're gonna have to get the legs out of the way, and I'm pretty sure they just fold down and rotate and just sit right there. Yeah, they just fold down and the feet rotate and they just sit right in there, and then those horns will pop out again. So then next what you do is you flip this whole assembly about and tab it in like so. Push those things in again. Ugh. That's just so annoying. And then these panels will flip out, and then they'll also tab in into that section right there. Tab in, tab that whole assembly together. And there you have ALPHA TRION in his spaceship mode. Yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. Flip that purple. There's this little purple bit right here. You flip that down. Then you complete the spaceship mode, so as ALPHA TRION can actually stand up properly in the spaceship form. Yeah, you got that. You got lion heads halves hanging off the side because there's nowhere else for them to go. That's a little unfortunate, but they tried, and I don't know why that section wasn't tapping in. I apologize on that as well. But yeah, you got this spaceship mode going on, so we'll take a look at the front. You got these little silver bits. You got all this red and this purple, and then that red and that purple, and then you got the claws hanging off the side. You got this little purple section down here, and that is very detailed for that. You got that section below there. That's all chest stuff. You got the lion heads hiding. You got the red and the purple, and it's just all trying to hide. And then again, you got the cockpit right there, and the same translucent orange. So for interaction with Sovereign is able to see in there, just like he could in the other form. I won't show that off again. And then you got these four tabs right there and there and there and there. And you can plug them into Time Masters into there, so they are able to stand on like that bridge, that landing pad. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. I know what it's going to be because this toy is heavily retooled into another Voyager, but we'll get to him we won't get to him this week, but you will see that I will bring him back for that comparison just to show the shared parts on that. So ALPHA TRION, Sovereign stays there. For weapon storage, there are these 5mm posts on the sides that you can store the sword in. There's also this port right here that is 5mm compatible, just because of how the sword works, how much stuff there is on the sword. You can't get the sword to fit in there, so the sword has to tab into the side of the thing. But you can fit this this 5mm post in there, so you can have a bow mounted gun, or you can take it and you can use the same slots on there and put in the same tabs right there into those slots right there, and stick it in there. Come on, get in there. You know how to get there, and do that, and have the gun sitting there if you want. And it does a very nice. That's pretty good storage. That's pretty good storage for this form. Time for some size comparisons with this configuration. Here they are with Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see that scale. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. And you see how they compare. Voyager Class Megatron. And Alpha Trion is longer than Megatron in his tank form. And Leader Class 6-shot. And Alpha Trion is still longer than 6-shot in 6-shot's car form. So that's all I have to say on this spaceship mode. So let's roll right along to the robot mode. So it's a fair bit simpler from here on out. We're going to take this panel and we're going to fold that down. I'm going to take these panels and fold them back down, and those tabs will go into those slots right there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to split the lower legs, rotate them forward, fold the feet down, and you're going to fold them from this position into that position, like so. Repeat on the other side, like so. You're going to take the lion heads, and you're going to move them back on those hinges, and then readjust and fold them back in so they're angled out like that. Then you fold the arm down, rotate the forearm, rotate the hand, then you got the one arm done. Repeat that on the other side. Fold that like so, fold the arm out, rotate, rotate. You're pretty much done. The horns have already popped up, spoiling the surprise. But to finish his appearance, I apologize, those feet should be hanging down like so. Those feet should be hanging down like so. You can leave them, you can totally leave them hanging up like so. Actually it is supposed to be like that. I apologize. I should have transformed this toy more before I started, but yeah, that's how the feet are supposed to sit. Like that. Alpha Trion, you fold his head down like so. Stick it in, press this orange center core on his chest, and then you got horns to fill out the head. And there you have Alpha Trion in his robot mode. And boy, does this look very nice. This looks very nice. Take a closer look on the head. You got the same, you can see all of that silver and purple and red, and you can see the red and the purple beefing out the sides. And this looks the best out of all of like the stuff, I think. It looks the most integrated with the specific helmet, but I mean, if you're going to switch the heads up, it's not going to fit properly because it's the wrong color scheme. But regardless, then you come down, you got a lot of nice silver going on in his chest, some very nice purple sections, and a very nice orange translucent core. You got the claws on this chest. You got a very loincloth kind of a thing going, a very fancy, elegant loincloth kind of a thing with a lot of silver, a lot of purple, and a lot of red going on. You got these gray thighs. You got these legs, which you pretty much saw in the other two forms. You got the claws going on. You got the red, the purple, and the red going on with a little bit of silver right there. The arms, they're just the lion head halves, but now you can see that there are purple like upper arms and then a purple hinge joint right there, and then the rest of the arm is red, and then you can see the rest of the hands, and they're a little gappy just because that's how they have to tab to each other, but it looks pretty nice. And then you got the back, and then that back's pretty clean, just got an extra cockpit place, so if you want someone to have receive a piggyback ride from Alpha Trion, you can do that totally. Yeah, articulation wise, like the other Voyagers, his gimmick limits his head articulation. I think he does have a fair bit better than Galvatron, but still not particularly great. But if you were to I'm going to take the head off, and then I'm going to stick that back in there, and I'm going to plug the head back on. So if you have the horns out of the way, he still has standard Time Master articulation. I'll leave that for now. Arms are standard Time Master head articulation. Arms can rotate a full 360. Arms are able to go out on a joint inside there that far, only that far, and it's not bumping into anything in here, so there's something blocking it in there. There's a bicep swivel that allows him to rotate a full 360, and an elbow bend that gives him much greater than 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. And then the wrists have a wrist swivel. There is wrist articulation. There's a full wrist swivel going on. So you can rotate that 360. Nothing at the waist. This flap is able to go that far forward only, but the legs are able to go that far forward, that far back. Legs are very tight. That far out, and then there is a thigh swivel right there. That doesn't give full 360 because of this bit right here getting in the way, but it is there. Knee bend at 90 degrees, and you got a bit of foot stuff going on here, and you got weird things you can do. You can't get them to really articulate the feet up, but you can get them to articulate down. And I have to mention, I did mention that it has to be in this position. You can put like that little red groove in before that purple groove, or you can like put it right on top. But I have found this to be the best position purely for stability reasons. Just makes him the most stable from my experience. And you can move those claws into whatever position you would like. For his weapons, he is able to hold them in his hand, like so, and like so. You can even have him holding his sword, using that foot. Not actually, yeah, you can have him holding the sword with that 5mm post. Probably doesn't work so well in this hand because that tab's sticking out. You can get him to do so. You do have storage on the back. You can store the sword on the back, and you can store this gun on the back if you want, if you really want. The gun can also store on the top of the line of the cockpit. Sword cannot store there, but this post is also available, so you can store the sword like that. You kind of have it across his back, but not really. He's just kind of hanging out of his butt. I don't know. I actually really don't understand why that's there. I guess that's mainly just for the spaceship mode, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, that's all there's to say on Alpha Trion. So let's get into some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Legends class Bumblebee. And Bumblebee comes up to the lower part of that purple section right there. Deluxe class Chrome Dome. With Chrome Dome making it to just a little bit above those claws. Voyager class Megatron. And you can see, well, actually Megatron is kind of got his legs back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Alpha Trion is a bit shorter than Megatron, but with those head spikes, those extra head bits, he does make about equal head height with Megatron. And then leader class 6-shot, if 6-shot will stand up appropriately. And then Alpha Trion comes up to, well, his main head right here comes up to the lower part of that wing chest. I should lift that up so you can see all that. And then, of course, here he is with the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. Soundwave, you stand properly. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, Alpha Trion is a very nice Voyager. The third spaceship mode is little, but hey, considering how some of the other ones work, that's very nice. That's very nice. Very good Voyager, very much recommended, very nice part of your collection. it's very simple. It's very short. It's very sweet. But hey, that's this ALPHA TRION toy. Very nice. You can do some very nice things with him. He's got some nice aesthetic, nice color going on, nice transformation stuff. And yeah, I would. This definitely a Voyager I would recommend. So that's all I have to say on ALPHA TRION. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack, signing off.